Thank you very much, sir. A very good afternoon to you all. At the outset, I would like to thank CAI for organizing this and scheduling an event on biodiversity. Though we are talking about sustainability, boosting biodiversity in a business summit is encouraging. Biodiversity is not the responsibility of any particular agency or the department or a ministry of the government, but every one of us have a huge role to play. Especially businesses as users of the biodiversity are a very, very important stakeholders. And then as we discuss here and discuss about this, is a very encouraging sign for us. I just quote Richard Feynman, the theoretical physicist. He once said, "What I cannot create, I do not understand." Moderator, Mr. Hem Pandey, used to tell this very often, that photosynthesis is one thing that the human lab is unable to recreate so far, by large. Maybe theoretically somebody might have done, but we are unable to do it practically. So many a times we think we have conquered everything, we understand many things, but in fact we do not know things in detail. Solar energy is one of the most important source of energy for us all as human beings. There are estimates that say that as human beings, we consume from 25 to 40% of the net primary productivity of the globe. So as Mr. Ravi Singh was pointing it out, that we are consuming almost 1.7 times the earth. So this is absolutely unsustainable. That means we are consuming more water, consuming more fish, felling more trees, harvesting more than the earth in its own can produce within this short period of time. Of course, we are almost 7 billion population. With a growing population and ever-increasing demand, we are producing more than ever before. So we are also generating huge quantities of waste. How do we handle this? So there could be two possibilities. We could make things that last longer, or we recycle and reuse them. But we all know this, but there are other models. There are models across the globe that Sweden is one country where there is an incentive for repairing things. They say that their VAT is less for the service where you repair a washing machine or a bicycle or something like that. I think these are policy level interventions that need to happen within the organization and also at the national level. As Sir said, that there is no waste in nature, and nature is also never outdated. Our technologies go outdated. So normally our business models are take, make, and dispose. We make a lot of waste. So how do we build a system which takes into consideration the cost of conservation? Because when we always talk about conservation and sustainable use, but there is always a cost to conservation also. But I was just discussing with Mr. Kalra, I think he would be presenting, and he is telling that conservation pays. It's not conservation is cost, conservation pays. I'm really eager to listen to him, and you would all be benefited when listening to him. So what is to be done? At the national level or at the organizational level, we need to have realistic goals for us. We need to remove barriers, and then we need to cooperate. I think these are forums like this. We need to discuss more and more and then move forward. Circular economy, does it boost biodiversity? I'm not very sure about that. But it can sustain. It can very well sustain. By consuming less, we may avoid overexploitation of the natural resources. by generating less waste, we may reduce the pollution, and use of more resource is directly proportional to the emission, thereby reducing the climate change potential. We have been hearing Convention on Biological Diversity, which has identified there are about 5 or 6 major reasons for threat of biological diversity. Overexploitation, pollution, and climate change are 3 major activities besides invasive alien species and fragmentation of the habitats. So if we follow a circular economy model, then at least 3 out of 5 major factors can be addressed to, so that at least we may be able to sustain what we have. So what do? We need to be responsible in utilization of the resources. It is not just the producer's job alone. We as consumers also, I think it is very, very important. We need to be responsible consumers of the resources. And then companies or businesses that use the biological resources need to sustainably use, and as Mr. Hempande very rightly flagged, we need to be sharing the benefits. At the end of the day, who conserves the biological diversity? It is the people and community who live around the biodiversity-rich areas. I think all of us know, if you overlay the map of poverty with the biological richness, it just overlaps. People are poor where biodiversity is rich. So that means there is something fundamentally wrong. So that is why the CBD has the third objective, without which sustainable use and conservation both cannot be achieved. So when we as a user, as a company, then we need to acknowledge who the provider is, and we should share the benefit with the provider. Thereby the provider will be, that is the community will be interested in conserving this, and that is only the way by which we would be able to conserve what we have. So in that sense, if the fair and equitable sharing benefit also, besides the responsible utilization of the responsible use of the resources, become part of the circular business, circular economy, then perhaps yes, we may not be just sustaining the biodiversity, we may also be boosting what we have in our nature. Thank you very much.